Welcome to our Beginners Monday episode for our LCF Lifestyle Talk with yours truly, Dr. Josephine Grace Rohatan, also known as the Diet Doctora. And for today, pag-uusapan natin ang top 10 best low-carb practices na dapat tularan. Para sa mga nagsisimula pa lang mag-low carb, this is the best time for you to start this and knowing kung ano yung top 10 na best low-carb practices na yon para maiwasan ninyo yung mga side effects na usually nararamdaman ng mga taong naglo-low carb and not doing it the best way. And of course, to make your journey sustainable. Marami kasi yung successful sa low carb only the first 2 weeks, the first 1 month, but hindi nila ito nasa-sustain. Pero marami din naman yung nakaka-sustain. Like me and my family are into low carb and fasting more than 4 years now. And so far, we feel so good and we have no other option but to just continue this one. Yung nakikita namin, the best practices when it comes to low carb na evidence sa mga very successful and nakaka-sustain ng kanilang mga victories in low carb, both scale and non-scale victories, yung mga pumayat, yung kanilang fat loss ay napanatili nila, hindi sila nag-fluctuate, and at the same time, eto rin yung mga successful when it comes to healing. So, moving on, let's start now with our top 10 best low-carb practices na dapat tularan. And if you can share this video, it is better if you do so. You can also watch this later, replay in our YouTube channel. If hindi pa kayo nakasubscribe, I hope you can subscribe para hindi kayo mahuli whenever we have new videos coming up. So, the first, of course, in our top 10 best low-carb practices na dapat tularan is number 1 yan. We already know that. Stick to the safe list. Ano ba yung ating safe list? It's just very easy. Para sa mga Pinoy, for Filipinos, ulam. Prioritize your ulam. And kung kulang pa yung ulam, pwedeng doblehin yung ulam. So you can eat fish, chicken, pork, beef, seafoods. You can also have any other meat. Carabao meat, goat meat, all of those are okay as long as when you eat them, you don't eat them together with the ones in the caution on or danger list. So kapag kumain ng ulam, ulam lang. At kung nauumay na sa ulam, then just stop eating. Baka enough na yung nakain ninyo. But if mahilig kayo sa gulay, then you can also eat your vegetables. It's just that you prioritize your ulam first because when you prioritize your ulam, you will be more full, you will be more satisfied, and it will keep you satisfied for longer. Hindi kayo madaling gutumin. Whereas if you eat vegetables all throughout the day din kayo gugutumin. After 1 to 2 hours, gutom na naman kayo, and it's actually not gonna help us because what we want is to lower our insulin in the body. And if we keep on eating the whole day, our insulin level will not be that low or normal. So as much as possible, we always have this window na kung saan meron tayong break sa ating pagkain, hindi yung buong araw tayong kumakain. And the best way to do that, na hindi rin kayo mangangayayat, na hindi rin kayo kukulangin sa sustansya, would be to eat nutrient-dense food. So nutrient-dense food between beef liver and pepino. Beef liver is more nutritious. However, pepino is just good for bulk. And if you choose to eat pepino, lettuce, and yung mga gulay, pwede mo pa rin silang kainin. But after you already eat your required proteins and healthy fats in a day na pag-uusapan natin in a short while. And as a trick, para malaman kung pasok sa safe list yung inyong kakainin, bago kumain, sa mga nagla-lunch break dyan, tanungin muna kung ano yung nasa hapagkainan. Ulam o gulay? Ulam or gulay? Kung hindi siya ulam at hindi siya gulay, most likely hindi pasok sa safe list yan. If it's ulam, try to make sure na yung pagluto nito is just the simplest possible way of cooking. Tinola, sinabawan, pinakuluan, bulalo, without the other condiments. You can just have plain grilled or prito in coconut oil. All of those, yung pinakasimple, much better. Yung mga masarsa, yung maraming sauces, yung maraming condiments like ketchup, and other extenders, yung mga mixes, usong-uso ngayon yung mga mixes na ready pack na. Try to avoid those because hindi lang ito mataas sa starch, sa sugar, ito ay mataas din sa mga artificial flavorings. At kapag ito ay mataas sa artificial flavorings, pwede tayong magkaroon ng craving na hindi natural para sa atin. We will tend to like or prefer foods that are actually not healthy for us. We tend to crave for junk foods, for fast foods, for chips, for other foods na supposedly hindi natin i-crave because when we crave for something, most likely ito ay could be addicting and most likely not natural. As much as we love meat, we love pork, we love beef, but hindi tayo ganon ka nagka-crave to a point na parang iinit yung ulo mo kung hindi ka makakain. Because those natural inclination to like those natural foods is tama lang. And we always have this saturation point na after a while of eating the ones in the safe list, masasabi mo nang okay na ako, tama na, enough na, bukas na ulit, or sa susunod na araw na ulit. But if you keep on eating the ones that you crave, kahit busog na busog ka na, your mind will still keep on looking for that craving. And when that craving strikes na, you have to question yourself. Most likely, it is not part of the safe list and it's giving you unnatural, hindi natural na cravings that will jeopardize your low carb journey for healing and weight loss and health optimization. So, yun yung number one. Stick to the safe list. You can get a copy of this one. Pwede nyo i-print ito, ilagay ninyo sa inyong office table, dining table, sa refrigerator, sa kitchen, at kung saan man. You can check this out in our website, jgrtanmd.com. Printable po yan. So, moving forward to our top 2 best practice in low carb na dapat tularan would be take at least 1 teaspoon of salt. Hindi dapat patakot sa asin. Ang 90% siguro, 80 to 90% of the reasons why yung mga tao hindi nakakasunod ng low carb because of side effects like panghihina, pagkakaroon ng panghihilo, minsan sumasakit yung ulo, minsan umiinit yung ulo, at nagkakaroon ng insatiable cravings, especially for sweets. Sweets from glucose is not essential. Hindi natin kailangan kumonsumo ng glucose from external sources kasi nga meron tayong process na tinatawag na, I know, alam niyo na yan, gluconeogenesis. That is the creation of natural glucose ng ating katawan if ever kulangin ito for our red blood cells and few parts ng ating katawan. But generally, we can survive without eating, without consuming. Kahit hindi tayo kumakain ng mga energy foods na nakasanayan natin tulad ng kanin, tinapay, noodles, at iba pang carbs tulad ng kamote and fruits like saging. So, all of those na mga manifestations and symptoms na akala natin galing sa hypoglycemia are actually most likely galing lang sa hyponatremia. Natremia is a hyponatremia is a medical term for low in sodium in the body. So, yung sodium chloride galing sa asin, ito yung pinaka-abundant din na electrolyte sa ating katawan. And every day, nawawala ito from our sweating, kapag tayo ay pinapawisan, kapag tayo ay umiihi, especially sa mga mahilig uminom ng 4 to 5 liters of water a day without taking in much salt. You are actually dehydrating yourself on the electrolytes. Dehydration is 2 ways, hindi lang basta sa fluid, but also on electrolytes. And if you keep on drinking too much fluids without enough electrolytes, most likely magkakaroon ka ng electrolyte imbalance and the lack of salt kapag sa simula ng inyong paglo-low carb na hindi nyo na cover yung inyong salt intake, most likely magkakaroon kayo ng ibang electrolyte imbalance leading to potassium electrolyte imbalance, lower potassium, lower magnesium, and magkakaroon nito ng mga symptoms tulad ng panglalambot ng paa, pagkakaroon ng crampings, panghihina, hindi makakoncentrate, and that is just because you did not take in enough salt during the time that you started. Eventually, it can pick up naman, but for those na meron ng symptoms of hypokalemia or pagbaba ng potassium sa katawan, I suggest you consult first with any of our low carb doctors para mabigyan kayo ng supplement to correction dose of potassium sa inyong katawan. So, salt is very important. Take at least 1 teaspoon of salt in a day. If ever ito ay powdered like the one in the photo, kahit half teaspoon lang. But 1 teaspoon of sea salt or rock salt, yon, that is adequate. And on the salt na pampalasa sa inyong pagkain, you don't need to count that one. Mas mahihirapan yung katawan natin kapag kinulang tayo sa salt as compared to we take a little more than the RDA. Our kidneys, especially if it's working well, can just easily eliminate the extra salt that we have. So, except for those meron talagang contraindication, and in that case, I suggest you become a part of our low carb and fasting masterclass, especially sa merong mga kidney problems, meron ng problems when it comes to salt retention at sensitive sa mga salt. Okay? And moving forward to our top 3 best low carb practice is to shifting into natural fats. This is the very good example of the natural fat. So we have avocado, olive oil, yung mga nuts and seeds, excluding peanuts, and kasui and pistachio. You can have seeds, pumpkin seed, almond nuts. We have pecan. We also have their walnuts, and of course, coconut. Tayo ay very abundant in coconut. I think I saw a post recently with Doc Iggy na sobrang nasasaktan ata si Doc Iggy because there are companies importing coconut oil from the Philippines and then repackaging it outside and then giving it back or selling it back to the Philippines double, triple, quadruple the price. And we don't need to be a victim of those marketing schemes. Ang coconut oil ay very abundant in our market everywhere in the Philippines. Kahit tayo pwedeng gumawa ng ating sariling coconut oil. Bumili lang ng gata. Yung gata, you just let it boil and eventually the oil will separate at maghihiwalay din yung, yung latik. And then the oil can be your pure coconut oil that you can use in any way. Meron lang siyang amoy. So, best to use it in certain dishes na okay yung coconut na aroma. And fats cannot just be found in fruits or eggs and other vegetables like olives, but it can also be found in our food. So, the ones in our pork, the ones in our beef, hindi natin sila kailangang katakutan. Those are natural fats that we can consume as long as huwag natin itong konsumuhin kasama ng mga pagkaing nakakapagpataas ng insulin. Because when you eat them together with foods na nakakapagpataas ng insulin, sigurado hindi sila magagamit ng katawan natin. That can possibly contribute into too much cholesterol in your body. At sayang na healthy fats sana sila, but kung sila ay magiging stagnant lang at hindi mo gagamitin sa inyong katawan because insulin is blocking its use. Ibig sabihin, kaya sana natin silang gamitin as energy, but as long as mataas yung insulin level natin sa ating katawan, hindi sila magagamit. They can become problem kahit pa sana they are the healthy kinds. So, eat them, consume them without increasing your insulin. At ano yung mga pagkaing nakakapag-increase ng insulin? 'Di ba? Always go back to our caution and danger list. Carbohydrates, sugar, starch. Kahit kamote when eaten too much, oatmeal, and even if yung mga banana, saging, mangga, yung mga prutas, melon, kapag sobra yung pagkain natin, can actually still spike our insulin level in the body at sayang again yung natural fats natin na magagamit sana natin for repair of our system, to boost our immune system, and of course to give us energy, but we need to consume them without spiking our insulin. So shifting to natural fats, and of course addition to this one is avoidance of the toxic fats. Ito yung mga fats na kailangan talaga nating i-avoid because they are not natural. Contrary sa previous nating slide, ito yung mga oils na ito ay hindi natural. Sila ay gawa sa factory. Kailangan sila i-proseso sa factory so that they can be extracted from their very, very dry source tulad ng corn, cotton seed. Can you imagine cotton seed? Yung seed ng duldul in Bisaya. So cotton seed, soy, it's also very dry. Sunflower seed is also very dry. Safflower, hindi ko alam kung ano yan. Grape seed. So these are very dry seeds. Rice bran is also very dry. And canola is not even coming from a seed. It's called Canada oil. And Canada oil is first invented and used for factory use, industrial use, and not for human consumption. They were just able to remove the scent na wala lang yung amoy ng canola oil, and they already sold it to us as edible, but it is not really edible kung gusto natin pangalagaan yung ating puso and yung ating mga ugat sa katawan, because this can lead into inflammation that is linked to heart attacks and stroke. And yes, it doesn't sleep at cold temperature, hindi ito tumitigas. Yung natutulog na mantika, it doesn't solidify in cold temperature, but it doesn't mean it's not gonna do harm in our body. Coconut oil, na tumitigas yan sa cold temperature. Yung taba ng baka, lard, taba ng baboy, those solidifies in cold temperature, but it doesn't mean sila ay magsusolidify din sa loob ng ating katawan. Those are saturated fats, and our body creates saturated fats. It's normal. Importante, wala itong kasamang inflammation. And canola oil, together with these other oils, ito yung mga toxic oil na kailangan natin itapon. So that's why top 4 best low carb practice na dapat tularan ay ang pagtapon ng mga toxic factory oils na ito. Gawin nyo na lang itong pampadulas ng inyong makina, ng inyong doorknob, ng inyong kahit saang hindi kailangang pumasok sa inyong katawan. Okay, so moving on to our 5th best low carb practice na dapat tularan would be to not be afraid of animal meat. Kasi marami na nag-low carb pero takot pa rin sa red meat, takot pa rin kumain ng baboy, takot pa rin kumain ng karne, nililimit lang yung intake sa chicken, at kung yung chicken pa, puro chicken breast lang, hindi yung masarap na thigh and leg part, which is very fatty and full of natural fats, especially if your chicken source is free range, no antibiotic, all organic, Bisayang manok here in Cebu. And if you are not afraid of those, you can actually see na hindi ka mangangayayat. Yung mga mommies and daddies na problema kasi sobra na yung payat nila sa low carb, it is most likely that you are not eating enough proteins. So in general, at least 6 na palm size. So ito yung palm natin, and ito rin yung kapal ng palm ko, no? So palm size. So this one, parang malaking burger patty na equivalent of meat. Kakain kayo ng 6 na ganyan in a day. At least 5 of that, 5 to 6 of that in a day, and you will reach your minimum protein intake in a day, and hindi nyo kailangan ihiwala yung taba, yung nasa pork belly, yung nasa beef belly, yung nasa pork chop, even the skin in the chicken, as long as hindi sobra-sobra at hindi na kayo maglaklak ng chicken oil, those can be accommodated by our body. Kayang-kaya natin yan, and that can actually become even more nutrient dense if you add a little liver to it. And kung kulang pa, make sure na meron itong paminta or salt. Make it as simple as possible. Don't be afraid of animal meat as long as hindi niyo ito kakainin ng may kasamang mga pagkaing nakakataas ng ating insulin at blood sugar in the body. Okay, so moving on to our top 6 best low carb practice is avoid snacking. Marami kasi yung naglo-low carb pero mayat maya yung kain. And when they do that, they can feel na parang hindi gumaganda yung kanilang health status because maybe you are eating too much. And when you eat snacks, if meron kayong craving for snacks, hopefully it's low carb. And if it's low carb but parati kayong kumakain ng snacks, most likely hindi enough yung kainin ninyo sa inyong major meal, in your first meal or your second meal. That's why naghahanap kayo ng snacks. But if only you eat enough, that's including yung sinabi natin, at least 5 to 6 sizes of palm size of meat every day, hindi nyo na makikita na mangangailangan pa kayo ng snacks because when you eat those, you will feel more satisfied and you will be appetite corrected na yung gutom ninyo ay ma-activate lamang when you are truly nutritionally hungry. So avoid snacking and eat your full meal instead. And of course, seventh would be regulation of water intake. Hindi lang ito sa paramihan ng water intake kasi akala natin for the longest time, the more you drink water, the healthier you become. It is not the point. Our body just needs enough, and anything too much is still not good. So 6 to 8 glasses of water in a day, pwede na yan. If you are working outside, mainit sa labas, grabe yung pagpawis ninyo, then maybe you can eat a little more. You can drink a little more. But when it comes to regulation of water intake, hindi lang ito sa amount, but also on the timing. So timing of water intake should be when you are most active. Kung meron na kayong physical activity, the morning you wake up, you can already start drinking your water. Take 1 glass of water every 1 to 2 hours, and by 6 o'clock or 7 o'clock, pagkatapos yung mag-dinner, hopefully, ubos na rin yung inyong 6 to 8 glasses of water in a day. And ano yung gagawin after that? You need to rest. Chill na muna. Kailangan din magpahinga ng kidneys natin. Kahit hindi sila natutulog, they are still allowed to rest, and it's actually good to let them rest, especially at night. Wala na tayong pinaglalaban sa gabi, hindi na tayo tumatakbo sa ating bedroom. You might be running, but only in your dreams, so hindi nyo na kailangan mag-water refill. Try to make sure na yung dami sa bulk of your water intake will be at most 2 hours before your bedtime. Huwag nang uminom ng isang basong tubig bago matulog at huwag nang magtabi ng isang basong tubig sa inyong bedroom because the tendency would be for you to keep on getting up, iihi, iinom, iihi, and God knows how many times you need to get up and disturb your sleep cycle, and disturbing your sleep cycle will even lead to other problems in our metabolism. So it's not just about the amount of water that you take, but also when you take them. And that's one of the best low carb practices. Low carb, appreciating water, taking them when you are most active, and stop taking them when you are already inactive. Okay? Are we clear? Going to our top 18 best low carb practices na dapat tularan. The moment that you feel that you are already fat adapted, meron na kayong boost of energy na hindi nyo nakita before. Malalaman nyo yan because kahit mas konti yung kinakain nyo ngayon as compared to naka-high carb pa kayo, but you tend to have this extra energy. Sometimes it can manifest as mahihirapan kayong makatulog sa gabi, or you wake up too early and it's actually telling you something. You already have extra energy na pwede ninyong gamitin. And the best way to use that energy is through workout, through exercise, because hindi lang siya basta waste of energy or paglalagyan ng extra energy natin, but it can also improve your lean body mass, tataas yung protein or lean body mass niyo sa katawan, and increasing that also means increasing your body's resistance to stress. Mas matagal kayong nagkakasakit, plus you are on low carb, ay nako, wag na. Parang hindi na kayo ever magkaka-flu kahit pa babalik ang pandemic or kung ano pa, kung ano pa man yung succeeding na haharapin natin when it comes to pathogens and diseases na madidiscover when your body is strong, when your immune system is at the top of your health, then you will not be concerned of any of those. Kasi kayang-kaya yan ng katawan nyo. And there are so many home body workout na hindi nyo na kailangan bumili ng kahit dumbbell, hindi nyo kailangan pumunta ng gym. You can just use your own body weights. So those are samples. So yan, you can screenshot that para kung gusto ninyong masunod yan. Those are just very easy and pwedeng-pwede nyong gawin yan to improve your journey at makapagsimula na sa inyong top 10 best low carb practices na kailangan nating tularan lahat. And moving on to number 9, enough sleep and sun. Bakit magkasabay yung sleep and sun? It's because of our circadian rhythm. Again, we go back to our circadian rhythm, the night and day cycle ng ating katawan. Getting enough sun in a day, at least 15 minutes kung broad daylight, up to 30 minutes if early in the day or late in the afternoon. That exposure is necessary to regulate your hormones in the body, including your melatonin, and of course, ensuring that you have enough sleep at night. So avoid activities at night 2 hours before bedtime. Wala nang gadgets muna. If you need to listen to the videos, put it in audio mode only. Huwag na kailangan manood para avoidance of exposure to blue lights na nakakasira ng ating circadian rhythm. So make sure you focus on sleep and you get enough sun in a day. And that is not just part of low carb nutrition, but it's a part of our lifestyle to promote better and natural health. And lastly, of course, choosing to focus on positivity. Kasi meron ding iba na kahit pa yung 9 na yon ay nasusunod na nila, but still, hindi pa rin sila magumagaling ng fully. And when we look at their story, their history, they only lack one thing, focusing on positivity. This lifestyle, hindi man ganon ka-perfect sa start. In the beginning, you might have struggles, but focus on the good things. Focus on the improvement na nararamdaman mo. Focus on sa gaan ng pakiramdam, sa sharpness of your brain, the absence of brain fog, ang pagkawala ng cravings, yung hindi ka na gumagastos sa pagbili ng milk tea. You are already saving time because you're only eating 2 meals a day. You are saving money because you are eating less and you are feeling better. Your skin is glowing, knowing that you are only eating nutrient dense food. So focus on those positive impacts of this journey and you can see na ito ay magiging virtuous cycle lang. One good thing will lead to another and another and another, and you will just see na eventually you can say, I've never been healthier all my life. That is something that we can say, and I hope you can tell that to yourself as well. So those are the top 10 best low carb practices na dapat nating tularan. I hope you learned something today, guys. Maraming salamat for being with us. And of course, you can always support us by sharing the videos that you watch here and being a part of our community. Be active kung meron kayong testimonials, kung meron kayong inyong sariling learnings and your own victories, please share them in the comment section para mas marami po yung ma-inspire. And best low carb practices, if susundin lang ito, for Sir Edrolan nagtatanong, fatty liver is just one of the many diseases na sobrang madaling makorek when it comes to proper low-carb eating. You are also invited to join our low-carb and fasting masterclass para mas magabayan kayo namin on your healing. Message lang po yung mga admins natin sa page and they will help you or contact our admins in this number. And for just little announcement, meron tayong mga announcement. We have schedules of activities, okay? So for our activities, we have so many coming up. We have, of course, all of these are needed to make sure na lahat ay magagabayan ng tama sa kanilang low-carb journey. First, we have our November 15 LCF Center private sessions sa mga nasa Ortigas Center. I'll be there on November 15. So you can schedule for your face-to-face live private sessions. And for those naman na kailangan ng online appointment, I think we have a slot this coming December. So just message lang our admin chat for scheduling. And of course, we have that this coming November 29. So pupunta tayo in Boracay. So it's the LCF Boracay meet and greet. It's rainy season, but let's experience summer in Boracay on November 29. Meet and greet tayo dyan. Just message again our admins if you wish to join. Baka nasa Panay lang kayo, nasa Iloilo, or in Negros Island. It might be the best time to travel and explore the islands of Boracay and meet other LCF practitioners as well. And we will have the LCF Center na get together this coming December 4, 2022. So anong i-expect natin sa LCF Center Christmas get-together. This is actually in lieu of our NLCD Part 2. Kasi hindi na muna matutuloy yung National Low Carb Day and Fun Run natin on December 4, but instead we will just have the LCF Center get together. It is going to be more intimate, so it will be divided into small group sessions para meron tayong one-on-one, magkakaroon tayo ng pictorials, FB live sessions, the whole time. So wala itong online enrollment. Don't worry, we'll make this get-together live para lahat ay makakasabay sa ating get-together this Christmas in LCF Center in Ortigas. There will be fellowship with other low-carbers. There will be free low-carb food and drinks and gift-giving, including the JGC Rojo food list tote bag and LC goodies. So I hope I can see you during that time para makasabay tayo sa ating celebration, because again, yung ating National Low Carb Day is now moved next year na po yung next National Low Carb Day natin, 2023, and that's going to be on October 1. That's the first Sunday of October on 2023. Final venue, i-announce pa natin, but it's going to be in Metro Manila. So, other activities aside from the December 4 LCF na get-together natin on Christmas, we also have on December 6, magkakaroon tayo ng 2-hour Diabetes Type 2 intensive course. Kasi marami ng alam sa low carb, marami nang alam sa fasting, but they are not doing it right when it comes to managing their diabetes kasi nga meron ng mga gamot na iniinom, meron ng mga side effects, meron ng mga complications, and these are the ones that we would like to address. This is a special webinar from our LCF Masterclass. So this is LCF Masterclass Special Type 2 Diabetes 2-hour intensive course na kung saan malalaman ninyo everything that you need to know, everything essential that you need to know when it comes to incorporating low-carb nutrition and therapeutic fasting for lifestyle approach in managing diabetes. So we will discuss ano yung diabetes remission, ano yung meal guide para mag-experience ng diabetes remission, ano-ano yung safe fasting protocol para sa mga diabetics, paano ang mga medications na adjustment para sa mga diabetics na payat, paano hindi mas pumayat pa, paano mag-low carb na makaka-increase ng weight, at paano naman yung mag-maintain ng weight. So that is weight management, and lastly, maintenance and monitoring, because it is important for you to maintain that good health. So yun yung mga kailangan natin. And if you wish to know more about that, tune in lang to our website, www.jgrtanmd.com. So yon, and I hope you are already part of our Life Without Rice na group for more food inspirations when it comes to Life Without Rice, pagkaing Pinoy and pagkaing walang pangalan, basta low carb at masarap. And of course, for more questions and inspirations, you can tune into Low Carb Feasting and Fasting Community. It's a free group in Facebook that you are all welcome to join. So maraming salamat, everyone. This is your Diet Doctora, Dr. Josephine Grace Rojotan. And always remember, of course, to stay low carb so that we all stay safe. Maraming salamat. Bye-bye, everybody. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, you can see more contents in our YouTube and Facebook channels at Dr. Josephine Grace Rojo and Dr. Josephine Grace Rojotan, respectively. For those who wish to be guided, we have an ongoing structured learning program where we will teach you how to adapt a low-carb and fasting lifestyle for healing specific modern-day lifestyle diseases like diabetes, hypertension, cancer, fatty liver, PCOS, GERD, and many more. You can send an email to our admins or send a DM in our inbox. I hope to see you all there. Thank you so much. Stay low-carb, stay safe. Bye!